Wapi kelele deputy president jamani. Twende. Weka.
Igikino kya murungu tutore twendani iyadana lumete kuri murungu. Wegwa uri gitonga kanore kya mukeo. Mandego mariturira tuturage. Twendane ni. Urikida nyamana ikumi na kenda kamwarige kumi na inya mandego maritui. Kaiga kamwaka katika dijabiyangwe na uro kadiyangia haka.
Ruka kidogo. Ruka. Aha. Twende kidogo. Weka mandoido. Wewe watu. Twende hapa kidogo tafadhali. Twende.
Okankwinye.
Bipia mene tu.
Okankwinye monyanya. Okankwinye.
Aha.
Okankwinye.
Wewe.
Okankwinye.
Aha.
Okankwinye modoni. Okankwinye.
Ate. DJ. Oh, ni noma si noma. Sisi wote ni noma si noma. Muko tayari? Nataka tupichape practice. Sawa? Nipe ile ya Thutha tafadhali. Nataka tunjipange tumkaribishe. Sawa? Waziri Mureka karibu sana. Nipe tuchape practice. Nipe nikuonyeshe vile tutaimba kiingia. DJ. Yes. DJ. Nipe kitu. Haya, twende leo kidogo. Weka vidole mbili hapa. Weka hapa yote mbili. Huko nyuma. Weka hapa tafadhali kwa heshima. Weka hapa kidogo. Wabia simame. Aha. Wabia. Wabia BPM. Weka twende. Nipe mikono jamani. Aha. Wewe. Watu wa Thutha. Aha. Maplayers wetu. Wewe tu.
Tena okatera gakoro eholele. Tena wamudene oira warusio. Magerio maike akera kore kirererie. Tekigerio na igerio teotagwe.
Aya tuangali huko. Wewe angali huko. Aha. Wewe angalia nyuma. Pinduka. Angalia watu nyuma. Waangalia wapia ni Thutha pale kwa kamera. Weka vidole juu. Haya tupinduke side nyingine. Tuangalie kwa gate. Weka Thutha. Wewe. Haya tuangalie huku. Lakini kama uko na sister hapa, usiende sana. Twende. Aha.
Osiali no aliganero ne mwana wake. No kaida ke diganero ne we. Ruka.
pia papa.
Leo yake akamimenyere.
Wewe ruka.
Leo yake idimuna. Leo yake ideoana.
Aha.
Leo yake idesina.
Angalia jirani yako mwambie. Mwambie Thirikari amebarikiwa. Angalia jirani yako mwambie. Wewe angalia jirani mwambie amebarikiwa. Mwambie Thirikari amebarikiwa. Wewe angalia jirani yako mwambie amebarikiwa na Thutha. Wewe waziri umebarikiwa na leo. Aha. Mwambie weka twende. Wapi kelele jameni? Loyo tena lokemi loyo mamami. Twende. Twende.
Ikereni nteto siagashina bere.
Mwambie.
Ikogeya waibora motuko na mopenya. Bere andena
Weka tu.
dena oromo ishushuchuchu. Ingenda dari
Kasina bele simwambie.
Bere andena dena wewara
Aha.
yeshakwa. Ingenda dari mwa otetiga ikwalia. Wetago kiugaga dewa Illuminati. Wega wakwibweko bera we mushore.
Aya, wapi kelele Deputy President jameni? Ni 2 term si 2 term. Ni 2 term. Wacha nisikie kelele hapa. Ni 2 term si 2 term. Ni 2 term si 2 term. Ni 2 term si 2 term. Nataka akikuja hapa ajue pia ma players wanakuanga na psyche, si ndio? Tutaruka, tupige nduru kabisa tumkaribisha. Sawa sawa? Table loy. Amero Wamero Amero borarere mbio. Borarere mbio. Anaenda toria baba ya. Hawa ni VIP. Sawa sawa? Tuwaulize tuone kama watajua. Sisi wote tuwaulize. Sawa sawa? Amero boekua. Borarere mbio. Borarere mbio. Asema. Haove. Makiro we. Amakiro. Anyenze. Atseire. Andra. Ndra yao. Murega ateona andra. Amwene. Ankoasie. Haroro. Ankanga. Yesu Kristo. Amotete.
Aya, are you ready?
Aya watu wangu, are you
For the
ready?
deputy president.
Nipe vidole, nipe tukaribishe. Anakuja.
Are you ready?
Aya.
Nadu.
Wapike. Wewe, weka vidole tu. Wewe, DJ, leta kitu. Leta.
Nadu.
Nadu, are you ready? Thutha.
Nadu. Ipa Thutha. Ipa Thutha.
Wewe.
Ipa Thutha. Nadu. Ipa Thutha. Are you ready? For the deputy of the Republic of Kenya. Nadu. Ipa Kenala ya deputy president.
Wapi. Leta. Wapi.
Nadu. Ruka.
Unasema tamu.
Weka hapa. Weka mikono hapa.
Ukisema tu, unasema tamu.
Tu.
Huko nyuma sema tu.
Nikisema tu, unasema
Tu.
tam.
Hapo mbele sema tu.
Tam. Tam.
Na munataka nini?
Thutha.
Na wazee munataka nini?
Thutha.
Wa mama munataka nini?
Ama namna gani?
Thutha.
Vijana munataka nini?
Aha.
Na wazee munataka nini?
Thutha.
Wa mama munataka nini?
Thutha.
Aya moshi moto chini. Chini kidogo. Chini kidogo. Chini kidogo. Chini. Asante. Twende.
Unasema tamu.
Nipe. Wapi kelele ya Deputy President? Karibu sana mheshimiwa. Wapi kelele Deputy President jamani? Karibu moshi.
Hey. 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 Si leo kumekujwa. Si leo kumekujwa. Si kumekujwa leo. Wenyeji wako area. Watu ya Mount Kenya East wako area. Wanaspoti wako area. Wanaspoti hoye. Wanaspoti hoye. Watu ya wanaspoti wa Meru County hoye. Wanaspoti wa Thirikari-Ini hoye. Wanaspoti wa Embu hoye. It's a full house. Ama namna gani? Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. Mimi naona muko chonjo. Muko chonjo. Muko area. Na muko kwa hii maneno. Ati Thutha. Muko hapo. Unajua nimekuta mkisema Thutha. Muko pale. Muko kwa Thutha. Ni Thutha si Thutha. Ni Thutha si Thutha. Ni Thutha si Thutha. Wacha nione wale wanasema ni Thutha. Thutha. Muko pale kwa Thutha. Muko kwa Thutha. Kazi bila break. Tuendelee mpaka miaka 10 huko mbele. Namna hiyo. Ni mbwekse si mbwekse. Mbwekse si mbwekse. Wacha nione wale wanasema ni mbwekse. Hey, nyinyi ni fire. Nyinyi ni fire. Nyinyi ni fire. Nyinyi ni fire. Wacha nione salamu ya watu ya Embu na Meru na Thirikari-Ini jameni. Asanteni sana. Naomba tuketi dakika kidogo, tutasimama tena kwa sababu hatukai sana. Hey. 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 Kumbe mko wengi hivi. Bas bado watu wanaingia. Nasikia kuna wengine wengi wako njiani, tutawangojea. There is no problem. Lakini as they come, let us say a few things. Si nyinyi mlikuja mapema? Let's say a few things ndio tusichelewe sana, lakini after that tutaendelea na program kwa sababu hakuna haraka. Wacha nichukue nafasi hii kuwashukuru vile mmefika hapa. Mimi ndio nilitumana nikasema mwalikwe kwa sababu 3. Sababu ya kwanza, nimekuwa na hamu ya kukutana na wanaspoti kwa sababu najua ya kwamba wanaspoti wako katika nafasi nzuri ya kusaidiana na serikali na kusaidiana na viongozi na wazee na jamii nzima ili kuendeleza taifa. Na mimi nitakuwa nikiongea na nyinyi, wenzangu katika serikali tutakuwa tukiongea na nyinyi, sio tu wale ambao mnatoka sehemu hii ya nyumbani, lakini Kenya nzima. Serikali iko na madhumuni ya kuhakikisha kwamba wanaspoti wamehusishwa katika mambo ya taifa ili wachangie katika ujenzi wa taifa letu, kwa sababu hao ni watu muhimu katika jamii. So sababu ya kwanza kualika ilikuwa kuonana na nyinyi, na mtaona pia nikionana na wenzenu pia kutoka sehemu zingine za Kenya, kutoka kaunti zingine za Kenya, aidha hapa ama Karen ama katika sehemu zao pia mahali wako. Kwa hivyo nimesema nianzia hapa nyumbani because charity begins at home. Charity begins at home. Fire si fire. Noma si noma. So sababu ya kwanza ilikuwa kuongea na nyinyi. Ya pili ni kwa sababu nilitaka nichukue dakika kidogo pia niwaeleze vile serikali inafanya na yale inanuia kufanya kuboresha mambo ya wanaspoti katika nyanja zote za spoti. Kwa sababu watu wengi wanaongea kule nje, lakini hawana taarifa kamili, hawana information, hawana habari ya kwamba kuna juhudi ambazo serikali ambayo iko mamlakani sasa imefanya kuboresha mambo ya spoti, na kuna mengine ambayo yako njiani. Na kwa hivyo nilisema ni wakati mzuri leo tukikutana niwajulishe mahali tumefikisha agenda ya kuimarisha spoti katika nyanja zote za spoti, mpira ya football na volleyball na rugby na michezo mingine ikiwemo riadha na rugby na mambo ya karate na taekwondo na swimming na kila kitu. Mimi nasikia kila mtu wako hapa, ni kweli? Nimesikia mpaka watu ya darts wako hapa. Si ni mchezo pia? Si ni mchezo pia? Basketball iko area, swimming iko area, pool, hata watu ya pool wako area jameni. Fire si fire, noma si noma. Kwa hivyo leo ni siku ya spoti. Sababu ya tatu na ya mwisho ambaye ilifanya niwaalike ilikuwa pia nyinyi majirani wangu, watu ambao umetoka area hii, mjue kwa Deputy President nyumbani ni wapi. Kwa sababu hii mahali sasa kuna wakati tutaita hata watu kutoka sehemu za mbali wakuja watembea hapa, lakini kwanza kabla hawajafika, nyinyi watu ya nyumbani, nyinyi ndio mahost, lazima muwe mmejua ni wapi, ili wakipotea njia huko kwa sababu makona ni mingi, wakipiga simu mnawaambia wacha niwaonyeshe kwa Deputy President, ni jirani yetu, tunajua kwake. Those were the 3 reasons why I invited you. First, to have a conversation with you because you are important players in national development. You matter in influencing public opinion, and also you matter in terms of giving your ideas on how you want our country to go forward. But also, I called you because I wanted also to update you on what the government is doing to improve sports and make sure that sports as a talent becomes much more than entertainment. It becomes much more than just enjoyment and relaxation. It becomes a business and a talent that can bring money to the pockets of the talented person, the sports person. So that update is important. And then, of course, finally, I wanted you to know home so that you can be able to help others who might be finding their way to this. And I want to say 2 or 3 things about where the government has taken. William Ruto assumed office. You know, at the moment I'm the Deputy President before. And, there is what I did as the Interior Minister, but right now for the last 9.5 months, I've been supporting President Ruto to deliver the national agenda on all areas, from security to roads, to electricity, to sports, to health. So because of that, I thought it's a good opportunity for me to have a chit chat with you, and I tell you where we have taken the agenda of improving sports. And at the end, I'll give you maybe 1 or 2 of you to say 1 or 2 things so that you can also contribute to how we should handle sports in our country. The first thing I want to say, jambo la kwanza ambalo nataka niseme ni kwamba kama taifa, na sio tu taifa la Kenya, mataifa mengi ya Afrika na mataifa ambayo ni mataifa ya nchi ambazo zinaendelea, developing world, countries in the developing world, tumeachwa nyuma kidogo. The developing world has lagged behind in how we treat our sportsmen and women and how we enable our sportsmen and women to advance in their lives and get success and wealth because of their talent. We have not done a good job. We have not done a good job, and it's not Kenya. It's not just Africa. Many countries in the developing world, we've not done so well. I know maybe most of you are younger persons, but people of my age and above, they'll tell you, and I believe even for you, you have had that experience. I know of, during my time, when I was a student, a pupil, I know very many talented, extremely talented sports people, boys and girls, of great talent and great gifts, with great gifts in sports. Stars would have been nurtured, and the talent they possessed in athletics, in football, in high jump and pole vault and javelin, and all the sports was of international standards. But they were too young, and they didn't get an infrastructure that early to help them use that talent and conquer the world. Are very good runners. 100 meters, they would do the marathon race, short races, middle distance races. Some of them were good in pole vault, discus, javelin, football. But because of lack of an infrastructure to support that talent, many of them, sadly, today, they have not done very well in life, and it's as if their talent did not really help them. And I think for a long time, Kenya, Africa, the developing world, we have concentrated too much on just one area, academics, isn't it? And we have condemned many people who would have been very successful, simply because they are not very good in academics, but they are excellent in sports and the talents that are in the creative industry. So we've not done very well, because the education system we inherited was an education system that said, if you are not very good in mathematics and history and chemistry and geography, then that's it. You can't succeed in life, which is wrong. In the first world countries, you know very well, athletes, sports people are the wealthiest, the most famous, and the most influential people in their countries. Is that true? Isn't it? It's the wealth that they make using their talent is much more than any professor of any discipline will ever make using their career. Isn't it? Those who play tennis, whether it's table tennis or whatever game, rugby, soccer, their earnings in a week, is in billions of dollars. Isn't it? No salary in any job, whether no job can match some of the payments that top athletes and top sports people receive because of their talent. So we have not done so well. Instead of promoting academics on one side and sports and other talents on one side, we had a curriculum for over 60 years. And it's painful to see some of these people who would have done so well, but there was we've done when we got into this administration in 2022. We had a choice. On one hand, when we were campaigning for President Ruto, everywhere we went, the public by themselves, without being prompted by anybody, walikuwa wanatuambia abolish CBC. Inatesa wazazi, inasumbua watoto, abolish CBC. Everywhere, from Bungoma to Lamu, from Kajiado to Moyale, abolish CBC. So we had a choice of either abolishing CBC or improving CBC. We chose to improve CBC. we saw an opportunity. Instead of throwing away CBC, because it had started like 3-4 years in the last years of President Uhuru. So instead of throwing away the new curriculum, we said, let's improve, let's perfect it, let it make it stronger. And the president set up a working party, a presidential working party, to develop, to improve CBC and tie in the loose ends and remove the difficulties and make it a better education curriculum. Those reforms have helped us transform our education curriculum going forward. That CBC, which was called competence-based curriculum, today we have changed it. It's no longer CBC. It is not curriculum-based. It is not competence-based curriculum. It is competence-based education and training, so that it can encapture, you know, it's not just a curriculum. It's education, and education is beyond the curriculum. It's on values and many other things, and also training because of the skills development in the TVETs and other places. And time will not I can tell you the benefits of the new competence-based education and training over the old curriculum we had. There are so many benefits in early childhood education, in primary education, secondary education, tertiary education, and even university. But I don't have time to go through the benefits in each stage. Let me just pick one of the most consequential benefits that I see in the new CBET that has been introduced under the administration of President Ruto. The CBT has perfected the transition from junior secondary school to senior secondary school into university. So that, unlike the 844, unlike the CBC, the way it was envisaged, that students will study up to 12 subjects up to high school and then they go to university. The way 844 had so many subjects for secondary school students, we have now decided in the CEBT curriculum, the competence-based education and training, the curriculum now says that once you are finished with junior secondary school and you're going to senior school, you will not be forced to study everything on earth. It's not important anymore. It depends on where the gift God has given you, where it is taking you. By that time, we have realized every child, the direction that their gifts are taking them. So we have introduced what we call pathways. And I know you are not in school, but you have children. You have brothers and sisters. You have your own children. And although you are sports people, who knows your children, your brothers and sisters, because some of these things are genetic, they may end up being great sports people, isn't it? But they have a better chance. They have found a better situation, a better country. And that's why I'm explaining that going forward into senior school from January 2026, the children going to grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, they will not study everything the way we used to do under 844 and under the CBC before President Ruto made the reforms. Going into senior school, we have introduced pathways. So you concentrate on the pathway that the child is best suited for. So some children are going to concentrate on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Only. They will not study history. They will not study anything. They will not study CRE. They will not study, I don't know, craft. I don't know which other arts. They are not there. They just do STEM. They become engineers and doctors. Later on, after university, engineers and doctors, they help us with the scientific success and excellence for our country. The other pathway is going to be the pathway of social sciences. Because we advancement with how to build better roads, how to treat people, how to make scientific discoveries and research. But the social scientists help everybody, including scientists, on how to live in the society. Because you can be a very successful engineer, but you can be lonely, depressed, and antisocial. Isn't it? So you need a psychologist, you need someone with social science skills to teach you that the human being, it doesn't matter how successful you are. As a human being, you live in a society. You need to live well with other people, with your neighbors, with younger people, with older people. Isn't it? So we'll still need children specifically concentrating on the social sciences in high school, in senior school. Then the third pathway, which we are introducing now, children going to grade 10, is going to be the trajectory now for sports, the arts, and the creative industry. That is where you fall. Instead of wasting the high school years of a child who is a great athlete, a great footballer already, they just need fine-tuning and a few things, and they are good to go. Why waste the 3 years in high school for someone whose skill and talent is already clear? And then you're teaching them mathematics, you're teaching them, I don't know, history, you're telling them about Vasco da Gama. Now, how does Vasco da Gama assist? Isn't it? This is a footballer. This is a footballer. The child is a footballer. They just need to be nurtured, improved, kidogo. They are good to go, isn't it? Yeah. Early enough. Don't waste their youth, because again, sports and games, these talents, people retire very early. So if they take a lot of time in school, reading things that are not relevant to their scale, you waste their time. So prepare them early. They start earning early. They use their talent early, because the retirement age also for sports is quite early compared to other areas. Ama? Yeah. Those who are academics, if you study law or you study the other subject, you can be a professor. And in university, the professorship, people there, they retire at 74 years. So those ones can waste up to 35 years studying. But for an athlete, by the time you're 32, you're almost looking at retirement, isn't it? So we have now, good people, ladies and gentlemen, a curriculum, an education and training policy that says going forward, the young people, the children who are talented in sports, the arts, and the creative industry, in their senior school, they will go to special schools for special fine-tuning, so that they fine-tune their talent and start making use of that talent as early as possible. Ni 2 term, si 2 term. Ni 2 term, si 2 term. So when we are talking about 2 term, we are talking about transitioning the country from a country that emphasizes that everybody must study everything, to a country that says children are gifted differently. Let us differentiate and start early preparing young people to actualize their dreams and their talents, and to start earning from their skills early enough. And from next year, January, we are going to have 1/3 of all the schools in Kenya will be schools not teaching anything else other than sports, the arts, and the creative industry. So that is one of the interventions this government has done. If somebody asks you, what has this government done to promote sports? That one is helping the sports of tomorrow, because we must invest in tomorrow. But for the sports of the immediate, we have made another intervention. For the sports of the immediate now, excuse me, we have said for a long time, our stadia, as we do not have good stadia for different games. We don't have good stadia. And you have seen what is happening around stadia in the last 2 years. You are sportsmen and women, you know First of all, the last time Kenya held a serious soccer continental event was in 1987, the All Africa Games. True or false? That is the last time we had a serious continental level soccer tournament in Nairobi. And that is the time President Moi built Kasarani, the Kasarani Stadium, in 1987. In 1984, 3 years later, he had built the smaller Nyayo Stadium. Do you know, between 1987 and today, for 38 years, we've never built another good stadium. Yes, between 1987 and 2025, today. That is why, when we assumed office, President Ruto leading us, this government decided, first of all, we must modernize our major stadiums, revive those ones which are stalled outside Nairobi, and also build a brand new stadium. We made that decision the first month after the 2022 elections. And we encouraged our sports ministry immediately to start bidding for serious continental and international events to come to Kenya. But we told them, start bidding from 2 years from now, so that you give us time. We will have enough time to do good facilities. I am a proud Kenyan today, because Kasarani Stadium has actually been, it's like it has been rebuilt. We never brought it down yet, the skeleton, but it's like we built a brand new 48,000-seater stadium. There is no match of any nature. There is no club from anywhere in the world that cannot come and play at Kasarani today. And Kasarani is not just for soccer. It has basketball facilities, volleyball facilities. It has tennis and all the other games, which are indoor games especially. So, Kasarani is complete. It is a 45-seater stadium, almost rebuilt afresh under this government in the last 2 years. As we speak, it is being used. And even tomorrow, the quarterfinals of Chan will be held there. Isn't it? See, Chan is already here. See, Chan is already here. Among the many things that have motivated even our national team to do well, people are talking about the motivation that they have got from the president. But that stadium in itself is very energizing to any footballer. You feel that you are in, you are in a stadium that looks like anywhere else in the world. So this government has invested as a second intervention, other than the curriculum, we have invested seriously in sports infrastructure. Kasarani is complete. As we speak, the 18,000-seater Nyayo Stadium is as if it's a brand new stadium. It has been rebuilt using billions of Kenya shillings to international standards. As we speak, and I congratulate the former Minister for Sports, Ababu Namwamba, because he's the one President Ruto sent all over the world, to Europe, to everywhere, to lobby and start preparing the bid documents for Kenya to host both Chan and AFCON. And we got both. We got Chan 2024 and we got AFCON 2027. Fire, say fire. Fire, say fire. So when we are saying two stamps as sports people, those are the things you'll be telling people who ask you why. Isn't it? Yes. So today, Kenya is proud. We have two nice stadiums almost rebuilt, Kasarani and Nyayo. The first facility of that nature in 38 years. Then, because we have Chan, which is ongoing, and we have AFCON 2027, we are now building the most splendid, the most